Good afternoon. My name is Roy, and this video is part of a series of videos that I use for applying for the Alone TV program. You can find all my videos by searching Wildwood Grove Forestry. This afternoon, we're going to open this survival kit, and it's going to be a time capsule in looking at my interest in survival. I first made this kit in the late 1950s and then updated it in the early 60s when I was in the university. The first kit was in a Band-Aid can, one of those large metal Band-Aid cans that you hardly see nowadays. And then later on I updated it into this plastic container that I found. I carried it on numerous treks and never opened it, other than when I updated it in the 60s. So we're going to see what I was interested in the 50s when I built a survival kit. I was 13 or 14 years old at the time. I've got a whiteboard here, so some of the items we'll put on whiteboard. And I have a dollar bill here so you can see the size. I'm going to open the kit with a razor knife. This kit was designed to be carried with a good sturdy sheath knife or pocket knife. And I have carried a folding knife almost all the time when I'm in the field. So I'll start by opening this kit. I noticed that there is some damage here on the inside where it's black. So something has deteriorated over the past almost 60 years this kit has been assembled. Also on the side you might notice dog tags. These came from the ROTC unit, I'm pretty sure, and had my ROTC serial number on them. I joined the ROTC in the early 60s at Penn State University. So I'm just going to use this razor knife to cut through the tape that I have around it. I have cellophane tape and then red, like a heavy duty cloth tape underneath that. Well, we're through the first layer and on to our adventure. Of course, you're probably going to have make sure you have a knife, or I would have a knife in the field, because, or have to use a sharp rock if I didn't have access to a knife to get into this kit in the first place. So now we see basic issue dog tags with my name. Now it does have my Air Force Social Security number, serial number on there, and blood type, and my religious preference. So there's two dog tags, the first items to come out of the kit. Now we have to loosen the heavy duty cloth tape, which has deteriorated significantly in the last almost 60 years. There's quite a bit of debris in these folds where the case has the way it's designed. So there's dirt, debris, probably lots of pocket lint. You can see some of the dust coming off now. I think this container had screwdriver set in it. Some kind of an inexpensive screwdriver set and I usually save stuff that I think I might be able to use again in the future. So that must be how I ended up with this screwdriver set when I was in college. Of course, in a survival situation, this pocket survival kit is not designed to do everything for you. It's designed to allow you to spend a couple days in the woods, maybe a couple overnights, and provide a few comfort items that might be useful. Down to the cloth tape And now it looks like it's sealed with adhesive tape, 1/2 inch wide cloth adhesive tape. And again, this is going to be a surprise because I haven't been in here since the 1960s. We're in my dining room, and I chose this area because the light's consistent this time of day. It's on the east side of the house. In the afternoon, the sun is over on the west side, and there's clouds changing the light conditions in most other rooms of the house. And outside, I voted against having it outside because changing light conditions out there also. Here we go. We'll start with 1/2 of it at a time. Some cotton wadding, useful for tinder starting a fire. Aluminum foil, heavy duty aluminum foil, numerous uses. I'm not sure how big the piece is, it doesn't really matter, but it's heavy duty aluminum foil. Next item I can find is some thin blades. These look like scalpel blades. No, I'm sorry. It's not. It's a rubber prophylactic. I suspect that it wouldn't be very safe to use. A very small knife with a corkscrew, several blades, a can opener, and a screwdriver. A pencil, some rubber bands, and some pills, which I can't describe. Then some more pills, probably vitamin pills. That I didn't take any medication. Some heavy-duty razor blades. Very useful around a campsite in a survival situation. These are fire starter cubes. No, they're not. They're bouillon cubes. Imagine if I tasted that, I'd find out that they're probably beef bouillon cubes. More vitamin tablets. And in the bottom, vitamin tablets, needle and thread. Thread's wrapped around the needle, and it's rusty or it has deteriorated bouillon on it. Some paper. This paper is from a notebook that is basically waterproof when you write on it in pencil. This is what foresters use, and I'm a forester. Foresters used, so at the university I ended up having a notebook that had waterproof paper on it. So paper and a pencil go together. Now several small band-aids. A stick of gum, so you can enjoy some relief for a dry mouth. More rubber bands. Lifesavers. Well, that's a good item to have. Here's a Army GI can opener. More band-aids. Of course, this kit is not too functional now because things have deteriorated so much. Another stick of gum, and it is a pack of Lifesavers. Maybe you can see way in the bottom there, multi-flavored Lifesavers. And I see some match heads, just match heads stuck down along the side, along the edge of the container. So that's about half of the items in the survival kit. You can see the dollar bill right here, how much we have taken out so far. Some key items that would still be functional: aluminum foil, the knife, of course the dog tags for identification, the cotton for a fire starter, paper and pencil, and the razor blades. I don't think the rubber bands would be of any value now. Let's go to the other half of the kit, a signal mirror. This can be used in almost any situation. Even when the sun is not brightly shining, a signal mirror properly aimed at the horizon can attract attention of a rescue vessel or rescue aircraft. This looks like a strip of cloth. It is. Looks like a piece of a sheet or pillowcase that you could use for a band-aid, a bandage, or you could char it to make additional fire starting material. And here's a little bit more cotton packed along the edge. This is a real adventure for me because I haven't seen what's in here in a long time. Here is a small tube, looks like a real small salt shaker, taped up, and on the outside it says Vaseline. Quite a few loose items in here. Here is an old aspirin tin, and on the outside it says aspirin 8, halazone 15, salt pills 3. So the halazone used for water purification, salt pills to replenish your sweat. Here's a roll of fishing line, monofilament fishing line. And I don't know what that is, we'll save it for later. This is a fire starting tablet. These you could start with a match or add it to your tinder to get a bigger flame. Here's 2 small lenses taped to the fish hook. Let's see, oh, it's a wide variety of fish hooks. Just see the top here of the fish hooks sticking out of this taped container. On the back side, 2 small lenses that can be focused for a fire starting aid. I don't know what you talked about safety pin, but here's another safety pin, several safety pins, and now a roll of snare wire. Now this is when I built this now when I was 13, 14 years old, which was quite a long time ago, almost 60 years ago. I had this much interest in survival and choosing these items to be part of my survival kit. Things I thought I would need. Next, some birthday candles. The birthday candles, once they're lit, provide a decent flame to help you start a fire, to improve your chances of getting a fire started. Here is some string wrapped in masking tape around a safety pin. So it's a roll of string, can be useful for numerous things in a survival situation. And here is early ferro rod. This is what we used in the field to start fires before we had the fancy ferro rods that we have now with a little handle on them. And they're, in fact, there's one here on my knife. This ferro rod material here predates this type of ferro rod that we use nowadays. So we'll put these together over here on the white paper. matches, wooden matches. I'm sure they'll still work. They might be pretty crumbly, you have to be very careful with them, but there's probably a dozen matches there. We're getting down toward the end. Here's 2 large sewing needles. Numerous uses in the survival situation. Short term, probably not. Long term, definitely need survival. These needles, you could use them for sewing up your own skin, repairing your clothing. Here's 2 more salt tablets and a button compass. A very small compass that'll help you with your direction finding and your navigation in a survival situation. We're almost down to the end. We have a couple match heads, a couple of more salt pills. Nowadays salt pills aren't such a big deal, but back in the 50s and 60s, salt pills were something recommended for use during hot weather. A couple more match heads, go over here with the matches. And that does it. That does it for the survival kit. Again, this is an indication of my interest in survival from the time I was a teenager until the present time. I carried this kit on numerous outings, hunting, and I even carried it as an unauthorized item in my survival kit or my pocket when I was in Southeast Asia flying air combat missions. So it's been halfway around the world and survived for almost 60 years in this plastic container. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope you enjoy the show. I have arranged all the items from that survival kit on this white background so that we can take a better look at them. You can see the case on the side there, the lifesavers, the Cepacol lozenges, prophylactic, needles, signal mirror, some heavy-duty razor blades, a fire starter, matches, some tinder, which is cotton, paper and pencil, sticks of gum, some cloth, some needles, snare wire, and string, a small pocket knife, candles, aluminum foil, dog tags, several different types of pills, needle and thread, and fish hooks, small can opener, rubber bands, fire starter tablets, bouillon, it's pretty yucky down there in the corner, band-aids, fishing line, and a small button compass. I think that's about as many items as I would need today to effect several days in the woods. Thanks for watching.